big part of making organized snowmobiling successful and keeping trails open is the partnerships that are developed and maintained, either with private landowners, which many of the club members deal with face-to-face, or the Forest Service, who we hardly ever get a chance to do face-to-face meetings with.
Anybody have any questions? If not, let's go ahead and get ready to go. We'll line up. We're going to go out on the trail over here up to the road, go out and pick up Trail 7 and head out.
In March 2012, the Michigan Snowmobile Association organized the Enlightenment Ride, with officials from the Forest Service, the DNR, and leading representatives of snowmobiling. It was a very beneficial opportunity to get to know one another and see firsthand what some of the issues are and discuss mutually beneficial opportunities to improve the trail network. There were a half dozen stops on this day's tour of meetings in the outdoor office. It is not always an easy task, but communications must be developed and maintained with working relationships nurtured so the needs of snowmobiling access can be properly addressed.
So, welcome to the forest. I know you all have met some of the staff at various times here. Thought I'd just take like 2 minutes and kind of talk about who's on first right now. The forest supervisor is Joe Ryer. Many of you met her last night, some did not. Like Jim and others from Michigan Snowmobile Association, others kindly pointed out the fact that that really is not the way we need to go for the following reasons. And we, if I recall correctly, we changed that from not permitting that to permitting it in the final plan. So I think that's, if there is an example of how working together, groups who have the best interest of the sport or activity at heart, the best example of how that conversation leads to good outcomes, I think that would be one. So nothing else, that I would lead off with that point then.
Events such as the Enlightenment Rides are necessary to promote the awareness of issues snowmobilers face when dealing with agencies such as the State DNRs, the National Forest Service, and the National Park Service, to enlighten those who have the authority to regulate and sometimes restrict snowmobiling activities on the lands under their control. Snowmobile leaders have worked diligently to foster partnerships with the land managers and display good stewardship abilities while using our public lands. Events such as the Enlightenment Rides serve to provide these opportunities, and snowmobilers will reap the benefits of hosting such events for many years into the future.
The reroute, but the little reroute of Trail 41, which is the haywire grade, but a little setup to it, and Jim had an excellent lead off to it. Right now we are right about there, which is the main entry point into the Big Island Lake Wilderness. And we're not here to talk about wilderness management. That's not the interest of this group necessarily, but what I would point out, it's one of 6 areas on the forest, because remember we talked about 98% of the forest, I think I said this, 97 or 98% of the forest is open to snowmobiling. Be that on groomed trails, on unplowed roads, again 302 miles of groomed trail, 2,200 miles of unplowed roads, and then cross-country use. And there's a very small percentage of the forest, 2 or 3 or 4%, that's not available, and that's because of, or as a result of, congressionally designated wilderness, capital W, as Jim said. There are 6 of them on the forest, 2 on the Munising Ranger District. This is the Big Island Lake Wilderness, named for this lake, among about 20-some lakes in the wilderness. The other you may have heard of is the Rock River Canyon Wilderness. You may know it more popularly because of the Ebon Ice Caves. If you know the Ebon Ice Caves, we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, one of 6 wildernesses here, 37,000 acres. So really that amounts to, I think the numbers are 4% of the forest is not open to snowmobile use. So Christina, I guess, made the point before that that's a pretty, when you compare that with some other public ownerships, it's a pretty good amount. So we're pretty pleased to offer those great snowmobiling opportunities for the public.